Yeah, you're welcome back. We are still talking about the review of 2019 general election issues that have been trailing the elections, and we still have a new set of people right here in the studio who will help us talk about the issues, probably way forward if there are ones that we need to tackle. We're talking about Comrade Chuka, who's a lecturer at Anambra University. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning, thank you for allowing me to be here today.
Of course. And also we have Engineer Anthony Aniebo, civil society activist. Engineer, you're welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to see you smile. I've been looking at the face, but it looks as if the smile is not...
Smiling is not very...
Come on, closer there.
Okay, you mind telling us why you're putting on that artificial
I'm managing to smile.
Why are you managing to smile? Tell us, what's the problem?
First of all, within what is happening around, we are, of course, election.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of the things that's annoying me is why should it take us this long for results to come?
Yeah, that's
exactly the very first question I wanted to ask you.
Why should it take us this long for results to come? And then the killings that took place within the election, and what I call the societal mishaps here and there. You see where some people were even set ablaze, some people were prevented from voting, the voting they cast were destroyed, the ballot box were destroyed, and people... In fact, I have a very serious reason to be unhappy.
Serious reason.
Okay.
Because this country we seem to be moving forward. Unfortunately, we are going backwards.
All right, let's start with you, Chuka. Now, the election was conducted on Saturday, just like Engineer said, and we are yet to know the winner of the poll that was conducted on Saturday. What do you think is the reason for this delay? And then what kind of effect will it have on both the result itself and then the electorate?
I think that the reason for the delay is nothing but a deliberate decision to subvert the will of the masses by the present leadership of the country. If INEC is truly independent, and if they really want to do their job, I think there's nothing wrong with making not just the declaration of the results at state levels before moving on to national levels. I know a lot of states, most of the states have concluded with their. So by now we must have known the total results at the ward levels. And because we have something like parallel voting tally by maybe PDP and the international observers. By now already I've seen many international observer groups saying that already they know the actual outcomes, but they are waiting for the umpire to make the declarations of the results before they react. So their waiting is two sides of a coin. It's either a head or a tail. So if they come up with the actual result, we now know that INEC is living up to their expectation and their word that they will give us a credible...
So how do we know whether it's the actual result?
We won't know until we see the results.
Okay.
That is it. So for some results that have been announced, we know some parties have already started kicking against them. So we wait until we see the whole results, and then we actually can now say whether this is a general pattern or specific to those areas, and now know the way forward.
From one of the newspapers this morning, they were saying that the reason for the delay is for them to try to see if they can doctor some results, figures in the result. That was why I asked if it's going to have any effect on the results.
If it is to doctor the results, like I said, if, like they said earlier, as soon as they finish voting, there should be a template at the polling point to paste the results, the outcomes for that polling point. At the ward level, there should also be a template for, at the end of the tabulation, transfer the totals, the summary, on the template. I fixed at that point. And you move on.
Okay, this is becoming interesting. Why the whole rigorous process when it comes to transmitting election or electoral results? Now we have card readers. Of course, we know how ineffective some of the card readers were. But what is the why use a card reader when at the end of the day we have to go through a long process of transmitting results to INEC? And then a lot of people, one of the papers this morning said ECOWAS has actually said Nigerians should accept the result, whatever it is. What's your take on that? I was discussing with someone and he says, are we going to accept the result if it's fair? Are we going to accept the result if it's foul? What you have
that
to say?
statement by ECOWAS actually points ECOWAS out as agent accomplice. The implication is that ECOWAS has been bought over, and ECOWAS has become to be part of institutions that want to shortchange the decision of the Nigerian masses. I think what ECOWAS would have done is to warn the umpire to make sure that what the Nigerian people have decided should show, and not to tell us to accept the results, whatever is the case. We have not come to, no result has been given yet, and we are telling us to accept it. So, assuming you are now telling the umpire to mess the result up and come out with anything, and ask us to accept that. I am also of the view that the reason for all this, what I can call rigmaroling in bringing out the result, is to tamper with that result. Because, like I said, Nigeria is going backward. At this point in history of mankind, a lot of technological inputs have gone into activities of man that makes things very, very easy. Card reader was introduced to make accreditation very easy, so that you don't go on queuing and wasting so much time, and everything will be technologically done, and it will give you exactly that you are the person that is really owning the card. That's done. Now, we discovered that during the election, a lot of them were not working. Some work and we stop, because while we are discussing, I think even in this SBS radio calling that day, some people were saying their own work for some time and stopped. The amount of money that was given to INEC to do this job and the length of time that they worked with should have given us something near perfect, not exactly perfect, but something acceptable by all parties in efficiency. But okay, look at like the issue of results. It's your agents that were in the polling booth. If your agents could take the voting, make the calculation there, come out with number of, or rather give the result there. Go further to the ward, the same agents, so you are not in doubt who they are. Bring out the results there at the ward, get to the local government, get to the state. Why does it need to take this long? There must be a way you can even transmit this result electronically to you.
All right.
So that things will be done within a very short possible time, the result will start showing up.
And let's talk about the card readers that were used during the election. You are saying that should we now blame INEC for not having enough card readers, or those ones that they brought to the polls, some of them malfunctioned? Bearing in mind that we had fire incidents that burnt so many card readers before the election day proper.
Are you not saying that the ones they brought here that didn't work because they were affected by fire?
No, I'm saying that
the point is that that card reader itself, that INEC is working with, why would it be? Doesn't the Europeans use card reader? Do they have this type of problem? Or is it only when it comes to Nigerian situation they start malfunctioning? Something is wrong somewhere, and somebody didn't do his work very, very well. You understand? So what we are saying is that we have come to this stage or a point in history when we should be able to do, especially things that border on national interest, should be given the attention it requires, and get the perfect, the good serviceable ones, not one that will work and stop.
All right, let me come over to you now. Let's look at voters' participation during this election. We know that the election was postponed from the normal time it was supposed to take place. And would you say that the voters actually, turned out well to vote? And secondly, the postponement of this election, did it actually yield anything positive and improved in this election that just, concluded?
On the issue of voter participation, I believe that everybody, most of the people that are willing and could have voted previously did vote, except for a few, maybe because of a mobility issue, could not, go back to a place they registered for voting. That is one. Then secondly, for many people that were disenfranchised during this process, it is as a result of the inefficiency, the ineptitude, and a deliberate collusion of INEC with their masters. That is why I say, so INEC is not independent when it comes to that. If INEC is truly interested in allowing everybody or wanting everybody to vote, there are so many ways of achieving this. A lot of smart cards, PVCs are still yet to be collected, and there's not. If you go where they are doing this collection, the way they mix up everything, we tell you that they are not interested. They will go even as far as asking you for money to make these things available to you. So when people continue to go for a simple issue, you find out that it pisses them off, and at a point in time, they just have to relax. So basically, INEC, as far as I'm concerned, for whatever the outcome is, should be blamed for what we are getting. A lot of INEC officials and staff are still complicit in many wronggoings within this.
Okay, let's talk about vote buying. It looks as if a lot of people were really not talking about it. So it looked as if there was kind of a reduced process. I don't know, ways people probably did not engage in vote buying this time, unlike what it used to be. But the last guest that left here says in his own polling booth, the word he actually voted, there were a lot of people taking the 1,000 naira and the mouth and stuff like that. Talking about vote buying in this general election, how would you rate it?
Vote buying continued. The only difference is that they changed their strategy. Our politicians are good. They are very innovative when it comes to coming up with strategies to subvert the processes. What happened is that they made funds available earlier before the voting to be shared after the voting process. I saw instances where you see almost the whole community colluding to get the ballot boxes stopped across party. It's just a community thing, knowing that something is waiting for them. Then at the end of a collation and announcement of results for that polling point, you see them quarreling over who gets what. Some people got theirs 2 days, 3 days before. So it's just changed dimension. The only thing is that if you're an observer, you will not see anything.
Even if you see, you
but if you remain in that environment till late, you will see. You understand what went under the bridge. So that is what happened. So they just changed the strategy. That's all.
All right, engineer. Let's come to you. Let's still take you back to the let's call it electoral violence. Yeah, we had peace in Anambra, no doubt about that. But other states like Rivers and some other states and Kogi State where they killed somebody, we had some level of violence there. Now my question is, how do we tackle electoral violence in Nigeria? It's keep reoccurring. Even after we say that we preach about it, that people should not indulge in that and all that, but at the end of the day, it will still come up. So how do we tackle this?
Well, mostly electoral violence are perpetrated by agents of government in power. In most times, you see that. Okay, let me take what I saw from the video, the Facebook about what happened in Lagos somewhere. You see where somebody or some people came into a polling booth, pushed, scared everybody away, and we are dealing with the ballot boxes, emptying them into the drain. You understand? And the law enforcement agents were around there. You get the point? Now, who is supposed to stop these people? Do you want the masses to start fighting or killing themselves before the law enforcement agents were supposed to make sure things like that did not happen. And you were there, almost like supervising the action. In which case, the law enforcement is working for the government. In other words, the government is there, and everything is going on that way. In most cases, you see the effrontery, the boldness with which things like this happen, shows you that those people that are doing that are saying that they are above the law. In other words, the law is with them. The law officers are there. The police will be at their back. Sometimes, if they are supposed to be there, they may be told not to appear on the scene until after the deed is done. So the point I'm trying to say is that the only way we can stop electoral violence is for the government to insist that they want to stop electoral violence.
I want to come in there because if you revisit the electoral law, you'll find out that it is specifically stated there that the control of the forces, that's the police, during election should be the responsibility or under the authority, the police should be under the authority of the REC, the Resident Electoral Commissioner. So the IG is not supposed to direct, deploy, or redeploy. All they have to do is to make available the forces, provide the logistics, but the actual redeployment for electoral purposes should be left to the REC, so that he should be accountable for whatever happened. He should be in control of the human resources, the electoral officers. He should be in control of the ad hoc staff. He should be in control of the security forces. But that is not so. And at that point in time, only people who are supposed to have security details should have security details.
Okay, good. A lot of citizens in Nigeria are beginning to feel, they're beginning to have this feeling that their votes no longer count. That, even when they come out to vote, it's no longer counting. Now, with the whole violence in Lagos and Rivers and some other states in Nigeria, do you think that during next elections, the Nigerian citizens will probably come out to vote, knowing fully well that if they do vote, it will count? Because I know of the issue of the 19-year-old boy Chidima talked about, that probably, because we know before you have to vote, you probably have to get to 18. So let's probably assume that this could be the very first time the young boy is coming out and he lost his life. Yeah. If this is the case, some other people probably have read this. What do you think the young ones, the future of Nigerians, as we call them, would think or want to do in the next election?
The point is this. I want to tell you in actual sense that Nigerians don't vote for reasons that can be traced to the issue of, do our vote count? If you look at, when you even talk about registered voters, how many people registered in the state? And how many finally come out to vote accredited? Most of the time, not even up to half of the registered voters. Some just register because, let me just go and register because I'm being prepared to go and register. But in actual sense, it's not willing to. So, recently, some people were saying, we want to boycott this election. And I'm inside this, in fact, I've been confronting those people that are saying that. And most of the reasons they give is that, does your vote count? Why should we vote continually at the end of the day? After voting, you are messed up with even what you voted. You are, some even, as I'm talking to you now, some are even by the side and telling us, you that have voted, what are you now complaining about? It's like mocking you for having even gone to vote. So like you're saying, the attitude or outcome of our voting process, electoral process, is making people even to go back more. Because the results that we are seeing now, some people are complaining that these results are not true reflection of what actually happened in the polling booth. Okay. Now, and with electoral violence like we just observed, it's killing people's morale. It's making people understand that at certain point, in fact, there is no need coming to waste your time. If you know that this thing is going to be this way, why call us out? Why not just announce yourself or announce whoever you want to be announced, even in your house before the election? Why waste this amount of money? You get the point. So I want to tell you that, like the issue of the young man that was killed, my son is about to get into a team probably in a few years' time. He's already preparing to at least exercise his franchise for the first time. Now he's seeing what this young man and the rest of people, and he's trying. Yesterday he told me, do people get killed when they vote? Wow. So the point is that actually what I'm trying to say is that our people, the nation itself must take a decision of where we are going to. If we are going forward, let's determine to go forward. If we are not going forward, for the past, since I started voting, this had always been the case. Nothing has changed.
All right,
Nothing has changed.
We can go on and on, but we have to go now because time is really our friend. So, what's your final words as regards to Nigerians as we await the final announcement of who's going to be our next president for the next 4 years?
I will advise every Nigerian to hold our peace, but muster up the courage to reject whatever INEC will present to us that does not reflect our general will. So that is all. As political parties, as pressure groups, as religious groups, as different pressure groups, we must all muster the courage and be ready to defend, talk to power, talk to authority without fear, without contradiction, that this does not reflect our will, and we are not going to take it.
All right. Thank you. From you, Anthony, and you.
Well, we have done our best. We have done our bit. We've gone to the poll. We have voted. Everything now lies on the table of the umpire INEC. And my prayer, of course, it is half done, because I'm sure by now almost about half or getting to that state have been called, and the people have started complaining. What I'm trying to say is that Nigerians must understand that this country is we that will make it move, and we that's going to make it not move. Let us come to a point where we say, even everybody, not just even the voters, even those that think they are enjoying it, because at the end of the day, you will discover that what you put down today will come to haunt you tomorrow. So let us bear in mind that the society we are messing up today is still the society we are going to live in. If you are in office today, tomorrow you will not be in that office. You will start to enjoy what you put in place.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, Engineer Anambra, for coming, civil society activist. Thank you so much. And thank you, Comrade Chuka, who's a lecturer in Anambra University, Oka. And I will go with your last words that you said, that we should hold our peace while we await the final result. My name is Chidimma Oranwa. Thank you so much for joining us today.
And I'm Ebere Ugonna. It's very good to have you today. So let's hold our peace as we wait for the final result. 9 o'clock will be time for news on the hour. Of course, Sports Today will be taking center stage at 9:15. Many thanks for joining us this morning. Bye-bye.